Today I'm going to be unboxing the Yolansin Nimbler number 4 action camera, and also a Samsung 128 gigabyte. It's an SDXC UHS number I1 card, class 10. It's 4K capability, has all the good stuff in it. It's one of the ones they recommend for this camera. They only go up to 128 gigs on this camera. The GoPro has, the one that I was using prior has a 239 gig on it. But I think 128 is going to be just good on that. I was hoping it would be a little bit bigger, but hey, it's going to work, and that's great. So we'll save that for later. But right now we're going to open up the Yolansin. And by the way, I am shooting this whole thing on a Yolansin, and we'll see how well it really does. Okay, so this camera comes with a bunch of good stuff. It has the ESI, it has an external mic, it's 4K at 60 frames a second. This is actually 4K at 30 frames a second right now. So that's what I'm shooting with right now. Remote control, waterproof, it's got all the good stuff, Wi-Fi, 170-degree wide angle, keep quiet, time for time. I don't know what that means. And the use of ranges that it has over here. This is for Android as well as iPhone. Right out of the box. We'll also see about the app to drive it. It's called iSmart, I believe it is. I don't really... It's not working too well, the app, so I might have to change it or something like that, or I'm just not setting my phone properly to the app. So there's some setting techniques that you have to do for this thing to actually work. But let's get into it. I'm using it without the app right now, so just out of the box, battery, card, and we're going on it. Okay, so let me open this guy. All right, and again it says model Nimbler number 4. So all right, so let's see what we got here. Ah, there's the camera. Wow, super nice camera. And there is the remote. Either a camera or video. Like I say, it comes in its own case. It looks a lot like any of the GoPros you would see. Is there a crack in that? No, it's just a little scratch. But as I look at it first glance, it's got the nice buttons. Has the GoPro stuff going on there. It's got a video back, so it has a screen in the back. I'm just going to keep all this plastic stuff on because I just don't have a place to store these cameras right yet, and I don't want everything all scratched up before I get a chance to actually use them. So let me take it out of here. Oh, the little lens plastic. Which I am going to put back on this thing. It's lens plastic just to protect it. There. And there is the case. It feels just about like the GoPro does, maybe a little bit thinner in this plastic. But it has a nice bezel around the lens to watch out for, light that comes up, because I don't know if you notice on these cameras, the eye sticks out quite a bit past the thing, so light can kind of get in there and maybe mess up some things. But at this point, it's got a nice thing like that. The clasp is good. The hinge, I guess, removes too as well, and it has built-in just like the same GoPro stuff that's going on in there. All right. So, yeah, looks like a nice case. And that's all included. So that's good. So we got the case. We got the remote. And now the camera. All right. This is the, it's got a nice kind of almost rubbery style texture to it. Camera is not too heavy. It has clearly marked buttons up and down, shutter, and then your mode. Oh, look at that. It has a spot to put in on your tripod. So it has, I forget what they call that, but it has the thing. You don't need to always keep it in the case to mount it on a tripod, which is pretty darn cool. If it did, I have this little gizmo here, which is a kind of like a phone holder, and it has a thing for here for the tripod or up there, and you can just put it on there like that and then shoot it on a tripod like that. But this, on the other hand, is right in there, so you don't really have to worry. You can just mount it right on the tripod. Actually, like I said, I'm shooting this video with this camera because I bought 2 of them, and this camera is sitting right on the tripod with that in there, and it seems very, very sturdy and very robust on that, and it is a good connection or a good starting point. It has your 2 it has your 2 ports in here. That's your external mic port, your card port, and there's your microphone right there. Also, if you look, here is the little speaker, and here is the battery. So that has a nice little swing door. Pull out the battery, and there you have the little battery. It is a lithium-ion battery, rechargeable, and you get 2 of these with a charger with this box. So very, very good. I'm psyched about it. Very simple. A lot of plastic, so it makes it really lightweight. I mean, it's completely lightweight without the battery. It's almost like it can get blown aside. So that might be a little thing about a little snap it in there. This goes down and clips into there, and you're ready. So let's turn it on. No, that's not the turn on. This is the turn on. All right, look at that. It's right up. It's not reading a card in here because I haven't put the card in there, but you can see that it is taking it up. There's the Samsung on there, so it's coming up on there. And you can work it with, that's for photos. Hit it again, and then there's your menu. That is to see your videos after you shoot them. That's to see your photos after you shoot them. This is your video playback, picture playback, video settings, camera settings, and then the overall settings of them. And they're very easy to navigate by the up and down here. As you can see, okay, I just put it into video settings. Let's hit it. And then they got like video resolution, EV, EIS, loop video, time-lapse video, FOV, auto light. Also, with the time-lapse video, if I were to click that on, another topic would come up, and that's duration of your time-lapse video. So you can set the duration of it. When you set the time-lapse video, it's how fast you want the time-lapse to be rolling in your camera. So you can do 1, 3, 5 seconds. You can do it a minute, so you can really stretch out the time-lapse. And then the other thing is the duration, how long you want your camera running to do that time-lapse. To do a scene of time-lapse can go from 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to hour, or unlimited. So it's pretty cool with that. It has an auto light function, low light function, and a date stamp. Okay, there's 3 down here. It says there's 3 pages. So we went through. That's the first one. That's the second one, and that's the third one. So those are all the video settings on there, and each of them open up to a different setting. Okay, So to get out of this, we're going to press the start button real quick, and it puts me back out to there. Now I'll use the up and down again. There's the camera settings. And this has 3 as well: photo resolution, long exposure, ISO, EV, time-lapse photos, time-lapse duration, burst photo, and it has a self-timer, so I can set it and then run out. But I think with this guy, this is going to be key for those kinds of things. I won't need the timer at all, because I can just turn it on and off from here, and I think that's going to be money right there. And then it also has a date stamp for your photo settings. All right, so there's 3 pages. Okay, let's get out of that, and let's go over here to, again, using that, let's go here to settings. Okay, there's 5 pages in settings, and it starts off with frequency. It starts out with frequency, sound, AE meter, 8 WB, and that's not average wideband, although it could be. And the sound, you can, it has sound for when you press the keys. I'll go down here to volume, and then it can adjust the volume of your mic. So you have you have volume adjustment, all the way to 0, all the way to 3. Yeah, it just goes like that. Okay, we'll go back on 2, and then we'll hit that there. So we're back on volume, and then all of my buttons are going to make noise. All right, so let's go to another. Shutter is the next one. Then I'm still in sound, excuse me. Okay, sound, and then now we're at the AE meter, which is multi-spot or center, and that, not quite sure what that does yet, but we'll figure that one out. Don't have to figure it out all at once, because we get to play with this a little bit. The average wideband is your auto light thing. So you got auto, cloudy, daylight, or incandescent, so you can shoot and do. And there's 2 different. There's 2 different pages here. What's the other ones? Oh, then you have incandescent, then fluorescent, and then you have a snorkeling mode, and then you also have a slow motion mode, which is going to be pretty darn cool. Oh, shoot. Slow motion mode. So what happens if you press slow motion mode? It goes back to that. Oh, snow mode. Oh, not slow motion. That's snow mode. So I guess that's for whiteout purposes. All right. So, darn it. It's a little bit. Okay, so I'll go back up to auto. Press enter. So now it's on auto. So hopefully all of those modes will happen at once. The effects is standard, black and white, neutral, negative. So I can shoot in negative, I can shoot in black and white, or just in standard, what I'm doing right now. The LDC has to do with duration, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I haven't read the book yet, as you can see. Where is the book? Oh, yeah. There's the book. Forgot to even mention that. Not really good at this. But anyways, there's Yolansin Action Cam, and it's a pretty thick book, but it's in a zillion different languages. So we'll read that sometime soon, I guess. Then the date and time screensaver. Then the power off, and that is it'll power off at a certain time when the camera is running idle, so you don't waste battery. Your Wi-Fi, that is going to be for your app on your phone. And then your remote control, that's going to activate the remote control. And then driving mode. So if you want to make this as a dash cam, you can do that. You can do it. I have a dash cam, and actually I have a really pretty decent dash cam. It cost me much at all. And I think the dash cams are actually a really good value. because the color and everything was really good on my dash cam, and very, very easy to use right out of the box. And yeah, they're just a little bit differently set up, and I think you can mess around with them to where you can set them up as this. And they're like action cameras because dash cams are moving all the time, so you see a lot, it really works out really well. Okay, and then what do you got here? You got language, format. That is going to be for this guy. When we format this, we're going to be able to format it. And then that is your reset, and then what version you're running, and then your memory card. This will tell you what is on your memory card and how much on it. And then this right here is the recommended memory cards that they ask. And they're all SanDisk. There's some Samsungs there. But nothing is over 128 gigs. This one is an upgrade to what this is here. This is great for 4K and SDXS, ultra high S or UHS, and then card with a class 10. So this needs a class 10 better card, class 10 or better, to get the most out of this 4K camera by Yolansin. So, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so how do I get out of that? Okay, so that is that. So let's go to format, okay? And you put format yes or format no. And I'm going to put format yes, and sorry about that. I am going to put this card in and format it, because before you take any pictures, they really want you to format the card to get it right, okay? So I'm going to do that and show you how easy it is to that, because I was really pretty amazed at that. So, this also comes with a bunch of stuff, and we'll get into that, because, if you're buying the camera for that stuff, then you can just buy that stuff separate, but if you are buying this because you're buying a camera, then I think this is what you really want to look at, what the camera can do. And that's what's great. So we'll take this little guy out. And since I've got two cameras, I am going to be labeling everything on this camera as a camera, and then labeling the other. I've already labeled the first camera as A, so this camera will all be B. I'll put a B on here. I'll put a B on the camera itself. I'll put a B on the cover. So actually in the back I'm going to put the number, and I'll put the number here, the letter here, so I can see through it on the cover looking straight at it, so I know which camera I'm looking at. But then when I'm behind the camera, I don't want to have to look around the camera to see what camera on there, so I'll just put another little B up over here when I'm doing this. The only thing is when this camera is out of its case, when you look behind it, you won't know if it's A or B. You'll have to look at it. No biggie. And then I'll also put a B on this, because I don't know if these are compatible, if this will turn off both cameras or not. And I'm going to do that test right now after I put this in, and see if this will control both cameras, or they each have their individual little frequency they're going on. So I got the card out, and it comes with the of course the adapter, which is good. And we're going to put that in, and I believe it's going to go in like this, right? Nope, it's going to go in like this, right? Yeah, it's going to go in like this. You got to be real careful. I just didn't want to force it down to make sure that that was the right way. And then we're going to, come on. My digits aren't there. Let me do this. And then I'm just gonna press it. There, now it's in. So you see that it just kind of clicked in. Okay, so format yes. I'm going to press the button, Busy, please wait, completed. Just that fast. So that thing is formatted. So now when I go to the camera to shoot, right there, it doesn't say no card. So now I have a card in there. It gives out the time frame on that. That must be the time of date. I don't know where that is. There it is right up here. It says 4K at 30, and we could change that with the resolution and stuff like that. But I'm just shooting 4K 30 because I just don't need to think. But if I were to if I were to be shooting, you would see this to what I'm shooting here to there. So if I go like this, all right. So now I am on, and now I am shooting on this. So there's 5-6 seconds. And I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see that's the camera. See, there's the A on it. And I am shooting that. And let me bring the screen back up, and you can see there's the screen on there. So, like, hey, here I am. So there's multiple cool things going on there. And so this little camera right out of the box can just shoot it up. So I can turn this off. All right, that turns it off. I give it this another click, and then there's the camera. So now I can take shots. You hear that? So there it is. So it takes shots that way. So let me get out of that. Okay, I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to look for the Wi-Fi because I'm curious. This is the one from camera A. This is the one that I just opened up. I don't know if they're two different frequencies or not, but it is a good idea to, if you do it running the same kind of camera, that you kind of mark it so you know which is which, or else you'll be like having all kinds of stuff hanging all around. You go, well, I don't know where that is anymore. So let's press this, and let's go on the down thing here. There's remote control. That's what I want. I want to enter, and I'm going to turn it on. So the remote control is on. And if I click, I'm not going to use A because I know A works with this camera. I'm going to use B. So when I click this, if that camera goes off and this one goes on, that means that they're all in the same frequency, and which isn't too bad because all I need is one click and I can turn two cameras on at the same time. But then if I want to turn cameras off individually, and I use the clicker, they're both going to turn off. So that might have to be a lead. But let's see. Okay, so we're rolling on this. No, we're not rolling on it. So let's roll on it. You get the little R there. That means it's remote control. Okay, that's right. Let me turn this off. Okay, so I'm going to try with this and turn it on. And there's two icons there. That's the photos or the thing, and we'll see. I'm turning it back on.
It turned.
There you are. You're back on.
Off and
yeah. So the same clicker will do both of them. So if they're both together, they're off. One click will turn both cameras on. One click will turn both cameras off. I would imagine so. That's same with the pictures too as well. Pretty cool. I certainly can get used to that. That's no problem. I really like the fact that that it's a remote control. So that works. So it really works. So that's cool. So yeah, this little camera is pretty good. There's all of the things, and we'll get into that. There's the jack for the mic and stuff. And like I'm just keeping that plastic on right now. I know I'm supposed to take it off, but and that shows that it's on, and then it blinks when when it's rolling. Nice little camera. I'm telling you, the GoPro right here. This is a Hero 3. Doesn't have as many features as this camera does. This is a borrowed camera. I don't have much information on it as far as an app or anything like that, because they don't have the password to it. But you get this little screen here. It doesn't have a back screen. It just has this little screen. It's very hard for me to see that. At least this has a good sized screen, and it's on a saver. So anytime you're not using it, the screen will go off to save juice. Out of the box, that's how much juice it has. But that is the difference between a GoPro as far as a screen. This doesn't have a front screen, but it has a back screen. This one is just point and shoot, and you can't really tell unless you have used the app to see it on the phone or something like that, which I can't get to on this. Anyway, it's borrowed. I'm not going to really worried about that. But I really played around with the GoPro, and I kind of was knowing what I wanted from a camera after playing around with this, and was able to get a much cheaper camera, and I believe it's going to be just as good, if not better, in a lot of different things. I don't know if this thing can do time-lapse, or it's because it just doesn't have. I could look online, but I'm not so techie savvy, so I was just using it as I had it. Point and shoot, and that. Battery in this so far didn't really last long. I'm not quite sure how long the battery is going to last in these, but that's it. A noticeable difference here, not only the screen thing, but the GoPro does not have this little attachment for the tripod, which is, I think, a good plus here. This has an open back screen, so you can hear the volume of the microphone. This particular one is sealed. I'm also going to try to find out if this is interchangeable with this one. So I can at least run a case on it, and it'll have some sound capabilities. I did take some photos with this, or some video with this with the case on, and you can hear it. It's a little bit muffled. Right now, what I'm talking to you on is with the external mic, and we'll get into that. I think the external mic is also a really good super selling point to this thing. So this Yolansin, so far out of the box, really has a lot of good features to it that I think I can get really used to. As you look on the side, it's pretty much the same as the GoPro, except the GoPro is well, I guess, no, these aren't really labeled, they're just there. And this doesn't have a microphone jack on it. I'm not comparing cameras, I'm just kind of comparing just what they are, not their specs. The Yolansin is a little bit thicker. I'm sure the lens on the GoPro is probably better. This only has that's why this has a much better navigable menu on the camera than this thing. It really takes a little bit to figure out how to. This turns on your Wi-Fi here, and then you have mode and that. So you only have two buttons to really deal with. This one you have the mode, that, and you have up and down here, which is good. So right out of the box, as you see it, this is a little bit heavier. I think this is made with more metal. Maybe it's a little bit more substantial. Maybe construction-wise, quality better. This is a little plastic, a little lighter, but actually the same size all the way around. And yeah, I think it's not a bad camera right out of the box. Okay, so we'll put the GoPro aside, and we're not pitting them against the GoPro. We're just showing the differences of what you might be able to do. So yeah, the Yolansin so far, very, very good looking, feeling right out of the box. I think it's going to be a happy shot right there. Let me just turn this off. And it does the same, makes the same fidgety sounds of that. Okay, so here we have the thing for that, and now we're going to get into what's inside the box more. Which, I don't know, some people like to see this stuff better, but that's what I bought this for. All this other fluffy stuff is great, but that wasn't my decision making. what my decision was making was that this can shoot in 4K at 60 frames a second. My decision making was that it had an external mic, because I really feel that the external mic is going to make the sound lot better. It's going to keep the wind noise down and some of the external, like I'm shooting outside in a neighborhood right now and there's a chainsaw going over there. And I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I know you could probably hear it if I was not on the mic. And I will also take the mic off as well. Okay, this one looks like they mixed, there was a plastic over this and they got that taken off. Alright, so here's the stuff. Okay, in the box. Lens cleaner and some zip ties. Not sure what the zip ties are for, but I'm sure it's probably to help you mount it on something. These look like some adhesives. They have a hole in the center, so I'd imagine they're for the tripod mounts. And I don't know what this little wire is for. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what that wire is for. I'm not going to speculate. Here's a nice little clamp that you would put the thing on right in there, and you could put that on a bar work or something like that. Kind of small. I'd say probably like handlebars to a bike. Oh, an extra battery here. That's going to be for the remote, so you get an extra battery for the remote. Who doesn't love that kind of stuff? Oh, ho, ho. Here's the extra battery. There's a battery in here. And one of the other battery. And here is the little charger. So it can charge 2 batteries at a time. And go right in there. I actually have the other charger going from the other one. And I'm going to just put this one right in there. And it shows them both on red when 2 of them are in here. I've already marked this battery as battery A, so I know it's going with the other camera. This one I'm going to be marking as B. And I was also suggested to me that I should mark each battery separately. So this would be A1 and the one in the camera be A2. This would be 1 and the one in the camera be 2. So you know if you're having a failing battery or there's some problem with the battery, you know it's like, oh, that battery doesn't last very long, so I'm not going to use that one. I'll keep that on the charger for a quick shot because they fail at different times or anything like that. So these are both charging. So it comes with that little charger. So it's cool. So I'll be able to find a way to mount that kind of stuff. Here is a little wrist thing, I think, for your to make it look like an Apple Watch, if you like that. Here is some more straps and Velcros. I guess just to be able to mount this in all different kinds of fashions. Here is a shoe, I guess they call it. It has the Delia Wop in there, and this will also slide this in here like that. So I guess to put this on the tripod with the camera case, you would go with this little guy, and then I guess this is the shoe actually that fits into there. So that would stay on your tripod, and then you would slip this in and slip that off if you're using the case. If you're also wanted to put this anywhere, I guess you could put this like that's actually what it's for, is like you can put it anywhere. You can stick it somewhere and then put the camera on there, and that's a mount. I think that's exactly what that's for. And then or this has the little, and that I guess would be for this. Now you can use all of these other mounts, these kinds of mounts and stuff like that for this camera without the case. So they do think of a lot of different things on there. So this, yeah, that's the shoe that I showed you before. There's another little. This is a joint, I think, or some sort of joint, some sort of jointable joints. Okay, with a little deal here on that, and then, like I said, this little thing right here is also with it, and then your cord. Now this is it doesn't come with a data cord though. What I'm looking at. So this doesn't come with a data cord. Now this is the cord for the GoPro, and that won't fit in there. So that is for micro SD. I don't want to force anything. Okay, it's pretty new, so you got to really give it a good go. Okay, so that's going in there, and maybe this. Let me see if this will this actually charge the battery while it's in here. We'll see. I have a USB port right over here. Let me take that one off, and we'll put this one in here. Okay, it's filming with the power cord still in it. Very, very good. So I can have unlimited power in a studio situation or something like that. Even what I'm doing here, I could have run a power cord to it and keep the battery charged, topped off. So that's good. And then this same cord goes into your charger. And there's the charger. So blue lights signify that nothing's in it. And then these are the red lights showing that there is some charging action going on. To be honest with you, the batteries feel kind of cheap. That little plastic thing that I'm pushing on, I can feel it moving a little bit, so it's not a completely sealed battery. I would avoid getting these wet at all cost. Damp, rained on, or anything. I would just keep these dry completely. Not even tempt to keep them in a damp, moist, or potentially wet area, because I think that they would kind of leak a little bit. I mean, I'm feeling it's just. I think that the cheapest part so far that I'm feeling is this battery charger, but how robust do you need a battery charger? I mean, it's like super light, and perhaps maybe the batteries. But you get 2 of them per camera, which is a pretty decent deal, and the charger. So out of the box, I didn't have to buy anything for this camera, and I can use it. So the cord is in decent. It's a nice, decent, thick cord. I mean, I have some other cords that are like thinner. Like this one is thinner, and that's for like something else. This one is a nice thicker one. Well, actually, these are all thicker than this, so that's good. The only other one is I have this flat one, which I really like the flat cable. It flows and bends better where it's at than these round ones. So yeah, if you get a chance, the flat cables are great. Let me see if this is going to work in the camera. This particular camera, it should, because it's kind of universal. Darn right. So that one will work, and then that one there. Okay, good. Now, the only thing is this right here. Don't know. I think that's going to go. I don't know if you can download off of this in your thing. You probably can. That's all you need to download. So you don't even have to. You can download off your card straight off the phone, or put it in your adapter and stick it in your computer or your device, wherever it can go. But the feature that I didn't even talk about yet, which is like one of the main features why I like this thing so much. Let me get all of this external stuff out of the way, because just too much stuff. Yeah, the battery's good on the remote. I think that's an awesome part of it. I would highly recommend that anybody that is buying a camera would have that option for an external mic without buying like another piece of equipment. Like I think with the GoPro, they make a thing that fits into here. Then it's Bluetooth, which a Bluetooth mic is great. Maybe that same thing could be also in here and do the Bluetooth mic, but at least you have a wired mic thing. This one you do not. So that is a little bit better feature, I think. But you'd have to buy something else. Like this is a big ass cable, and that's an HDMI. So what is this? Okay, so this is the cable with the Hero, and and it's going into that big one right up in there. So I can. That's how I actually charge this particular GoPro. Is like this, because I don't have a charger for it. And there you can see that it's charging. And it takes a while to charge that GoPro. I haven't really messed around with this too much, but look at that. Okay, I had put both of them in, and you saw them both turn red. The A was already charged up, so it's back up to speed, and I put this battery in, and we'll just see if by the end of this video if it's completely charged or not, and we'll say, hey, that's pretty good, because we saw that it only came in with like a bar and a half, 2 bars at the most, so it wasn't completely charged. All right, so let's get back to this guy, which I'm super stoked about, and here it is, man. This is it. This is the deal. Look at that. Soft foamy mic. You're listening to me on the mic right now on the other camera. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to unplug the mic. Something just turned off. I hope it was that. I'm going to unplug the mic that is rolling the camera right now, and you can listen to the difference. So, excuse me. There it is. So now I am not talking through the mic. This is to the ambient mic that's on the camera itself. This right here, where is it? That right there is the mic that I'm talking through right now on the camera that's rolling. But as soon as you plug in the microphone, it turns that mic off and goes right into this mic, okay? So what I'm talking right now is on the camera mic right now, and I am going to switch back to the external mic, and you can see here the difference wide array. I'm sure there'll probably be a lot of background noise that might come up and stuff like that, but here it goes. Let me find the thing in there without making too much noise on this thing. There it is, okay, and we're gonna go in. So now we are back on the external mic with the little clip. It swivels. It's got a pretty long, decent cord. I mean, that's pretty goddamn good. And so now, yeah, I think that's a pretty good thing. So that basically is the Yolansin in a nutshell, or I should say in the tailgate. So, yep, the book is nice and thick. Lots of stuff to deal. It really is. It's not so hard to. It's not very hard explainable. Not very hard. Bleh. It's not very hard to understand these directions because they are quite easy. The wording is a little bit off because I think it was translated from one of these other zillion different languages here. And then, so what I'm going to look at right now is what that other little port is for, and that has got to be 5. So number 5 is do not caution. So that's, oh, here. Those were cautions. 5, micro HDMI and micro USB port. So they have micro HDMI and micro USB. So they have those two right there. I think maybe that HDMI is for, I can be rolling this camera, plug that into a computer, and write that video right onto the computer and view it as it's right, like use it as a monitor maybe. That way I wouldn't have to really mess with that app, because that app is really kind of goofy. I mean, I don't know if I really want to be fidgeting with my camera other than making it so easy. This is in my hand and you'll never see it, and I can turn it on and off. The camera's pretty automatic, so I can just put it on auto, and I don't really have to worry about the settings too much. If I do want the settings, well, you saw how nice the screen was lit up. It was very easy to see. The GoPro, where'd the GoPro camera go? Heck, where'd the GoPro camera go? What? I have misplaced the GoPro. Oh, here it is. What was I going to say about the GoPro? Yeah, you got this little screen. And let me see if it... And it just shows that. It says 1080-30. It shows that it's thing, and it's, I guess the W means wide. So, because I don't really have the instruction booklet, I would have to mess around with this and that, and look at that little guy, instead of oh, the battery's dead on that one. Okay, so the battery died on that. That's why it won't go. But you saw, see how big that screen is? It's good and clear, and a lot better than that little guy. So if you get the more expensive GoPros, I got them front and back. But this one has that big O thing right there, which is good. I mean, that's real good. I don't have that on this camera. So, more features as far as plugging into this camera. I believe that's your microphone here. There's a microphone there. Or one of these is a speaker and one of them is a microphone. I don't know how to play back on this because I haven't gone through it. Like I say, I was just using this to point and shoot and getting familiar with just the camera, just using a camera because I'm not a camera guy. And that's shooting right now. Turn it off. And then that's it. Not dissing this camera. It's a good camera. Just that if I lose or break or get this one, I'll probably be out a couple $100 compared to like $75. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to shoot probably about the same. I think the Yolansin will probably shoot a little bit better. I'm not sure if the Hero 3 is 4K. But it probably, they're the ones who are making it, made for these guys to make it. So, Hero, GoPro, not a bad camera at all. It's got a lot of features. But I was looking for something that was just a little bit less expensive, something that my learning curve can really go with. And if I grow out of this camera, awesome. Then I can step up to another camera, a better camera. But I think at this point, starting out, I think this is not a bad camera to start out with from what I've seen. And of all the specs that I've read through and everything to find this particular camera. Again, external mic it comes with. It comes with remote, a full water place, and it says 131 feet waterproof case. 2 batteries and a charger. All this extra little goody-goddies. All this stuff. An extra battery for your remote. Some great reading material. And hey, not a bad deal, I don't think. So that's my thoughts, and that's my deal on this Nimbler 4 action camera. And I think that I'm going to be pretty happy with it. Actually, I'm really excited about it. I teamed this up with a UB size tripod, which is these guys right here. Now, I don't know if you had these tripods before, but once I started with this tripod, it's like I can't do without them because they are fantastic. Why? Well, they can put your GoPro on there, but also this little attachment right here. Look at that. You got your phone on there. Now, this is a third camera, okay? And it has the holder. You can clip on lights up in here. This little goodie, which is this thing right here that goes right onto that, is really, really good. I love these. This is the best one made. This is the cheap plastic one, and it doesn't fold, and it's not, this is metal. See the metal springs and stuff in there. This is just plastic. This is soft and padded and holds that camera well, like this. Well, without the mic. If I take the mic out, then I can put that in there like that, and it'll hold the camera, and I can go on the tripod. I guess you could do with this, but this doesn't have a back thing on it. But this is made for phones, basically. And if this was a taller camera, I could probably squeeze that in there. But no, it's not going to squeeze in there because it would probably crunch the... Yeah, it's not going to really work that way. That's why they put this in here. I think that's an excellent feature that GoPro doesn't have. That's a big O Super Plus. It has the mic. I think that's a great feature. That particular GoPro doesn't have that. This has time-lapse, slow-mo, burst, all that stuff. And the screen in the back makes it very, very easy to adjust all of that stuff. Same setup with the card and everything like that. So, yeah, if you're going to get something like this, these little tripods are great. I'm borrowing one of them, but I have two of these. I got two of these, one for each camera. And then I got some regular tripods too. So I can have a host of different places to put these cameras on different things. This is so good is because these are all bendable, and you can like wrap them around anything and they'll stay. So like when I jump out of the vehicle and I'm going to take a shot of something, I'll usually bring this little one. I won't bring the big tripod because it's bulky and stuff. And I can clamp that on just about anywhere with that. And I don't even need to put the case on because it's got that. So, yeah, this is a really... Some Blue Jays are getting a little pissed off over there, huh? So I'm going to take that off. And this is great, this little knob too, because when you can photo and you can like swing that around. It's really just these little things that make taking these pictures or these videos so easy. So look, that comes right on there. I don't need to have it on the thing, and that's what it looks like when it is when it's on the tripod like that, right on there like that. This, you would have to change it somehow. I don't know. I guess that would be it. So if I wanted to put this case on the tripod, I guess I could either use this sticker and stick it somewhere, or I could put this like that, and then here, because I've got all of the other stuff, or I can get this foot, see this foot right here, that will do it by changing this out and putting that in. This is the GoPro one, and it's kind of broken, and I think that's what happens to them. So I guess I can go like this, and there, I can shoot it with on the tripod with with the case or without the case. Just a little bit other configuration. Let me see what that other one does. This is, yeah, this will act as a tripod. So you can put this onto, say, like a suction cup or something like that, and then it'll have a tripod end to it. Like you can just screw that on there like that, and then you can do it like that, and that will be connected to, let's say, this or something else. So this little foot here, these are kind of cool, and I think I might buy a few of these just to have them around, because this one looks cracked. And the reason why I buy a couple is because I wouldn't want to crack it, because I'd be cracking. Now I have one on this one already. I had an extra foot, it looks like. I don't know where I got that foot, but I have an extra foot right here, and that also, instead of this all gizmo, because I also was, I asked questions, and the more kind of stuff you have between the camera and the tripod, there's more shaking it could go on, or just a lot more things that aren't so good. So here is the Yolansin case on one of those things too, and it fits that way, or goes with the Yolansin straight onto it, or with the case with this little foot right over here. Great thing. And then I tell you, this is excellent, and yeah, it really is good. So that for your camera, for your phone, and also with this, I got a remote control for the camera, for the phone. So that's going to be excellent. Anyway, so back to this. So that is your differences. The Yolansin Nimbler 4 action camera is really action-packed with a lot of cool stuff to get you going on doing some, if you're just doing some pictures for your own self, or you want to do, because these take pictures, and lots of them, or if you want to do some video work, which is what I'm kind of morphing into from my static blog to a videography, or what's it, a vlog. Instead of a blog, it's going to be a vlog. So there it is. That's how we do it. Lots of great reading material. All these bits and pieces, lots of bits and pieces, are everywhere on this. Lens cleaning cloth and stuff like that. Your cables. So yeah, extra battery. Come on, who's with me on that? Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I hope this has been somewhat useful or helpful. I could be just total bullshit on my part, but it's not really. It's not. I think that this is going to work out great. The case and these great little tripods, they are so good. Like, you can get low. It's just, there's so many things. It's got the ball there, so it's swiveled up all the way around. Really, really easy to do it. All right. So cheers to you. And we'll see how it goes from here. All right. Oh, look at that. No, that one didn't work.